That's pretty. These pictures are pretty. The forest nearby the dojo was my first challenge to overcome. Hey, I'm gonna do a quick save. Alright. A lone path coiling along the trees, and there was even the river Ichikawa's sister had mentioned she had sex in the distance. Of course, I decided to stay with my senpai's directions, and after an hour or so, I arrived at the shrine. The shrine itself seemed surprisingly well maintained, despite being in the middle of nowhere. It made me wonder if someone secretly lived there. It's Ray. Perhaps some secret martial arts master. Already daydreams of a potential hermit having hidden themselves in the shrine to prepare themselves for an upcoming clash between good and evil started to dwell in my mind. And yet nobody is around. I'm so lonely! I need to have sex with the shrine. I sighed in annoyance at the fact the shrine ground seemed to be entirely abandoned. It was mysterious how the building seemed well maintained, but for the time being, I decided to focus on the reason behind my visit. It only took a few moments before I gathered the courage to enter the temple itself, and inside I found a rather fancy-looking shrine of sorts at the back of the hall. Guess that's the shrine everyone's talking about. Silently, I folded up the map I was given, and after putting it inside of my bag, approached the shrine. I was kind of skeptical about the whole religious aspect. So would I. So I didn't hold too much confidence in the idea of some shrine granting me the luck I would need to win this match. My throat is killing me, there's so much reading! In fact, I don't really think luck is going to help me much in a match like this. In my opinion, martial arts didn't hold any place for luck. A match was all about using the knowledge you gathered from the experiences you obtained in previous matches and a nice bit of talent to help guide you through the match. I'm trying to, it's so hard to take deep breaths. There was simply no room for something superstitious like luck. Clearly this would be a match where my experience and talent would be tested against that of my opponent. Nothing more and nothing less. I'm still a bitch for that. I just got a message on Steam. How curious. Oh, there's a female in here. Ray! How curious. The boy doesn't believe in superstition, and yet this child of man? So does it mean the person talking is not human? Stands here in a place of power surrounding the very thing he denounces. Upon hearing the voice, I looked around and trying to find the source, but there was no one to be seen.
My type of thing.
Who's there? A classic question to ask, and yet the right thing to ask would be, where am I? I'm in the shrine? What do you mean? Obviously you're here hiding nearby. Perhaps. But entertain me for a little longer. Why did you come here if you do not believe in things like luck?
Entertain.
Grab her fucking tits. I came here to prepare myself. Oh, do enlighten me about what this something might be that you're preparing yourself for. I'm preparing to have sex with the shrine. I felt a little bit annoyed at the questions, but perhaps if I kept talking to her, I would be able to find out where the girl was hiding. I'm preparing for a competition, a judo match. Judo? What's that? Seriously, you don't know what judo is? It's a highly skilled combat art. Aha, so you're a warrior. Hesitant to go into battle and came here in hope of finding the resolve to fight. I'm not sure about the warrior part. How fortunate. It just happens that there is need for one of your kin. There's need for a warrior? My kin? A hero. This shrine is meant to bless heroes like yourself. However, every great hero has to sacrifice something in return for the shrine's blessing.
What?
Maybe. Sounds like what the others mentioned. However, I do like your version more. Laughing briefly at the story the hidden girl was telling about the shrine, I decided to play along and clap my hands together in prayer. So what's next? Toss my allowance into the praying box? Don't be silly. Money is of little importance to a hero. For you, the sacrifice will be something much more interesting and precious to you. My testicles? I'll look forward to see what destiny has in store for you. As if on cue, the moment the girl's word reached my ears, I felt nauseous. Like my head was spinning wildly. Slowly, I staggered backwards, collapsing onto my back. and while my vision started to grow hazy, I heard footsteps approach me.
Ah!
Good luck, you're going to need it. Despite my attempts to get back up, all I could do was briefly look up at the girl. She's wearing almost nothing. The sight of the horns and tail. Oh, I just realized there's a fucking tail!
Yep.
Made me wonder if she was cosplaying as some sort of anime character. But before I had any chance to say anything, my vision was consumed entirely by darkness. She wasn't on the title screen. But just because of the way she's dressed and has horns and a tail, she's bound to be important. The rays of sunlight that glared into my face stirred me back into consciousness. A groan of annoyance leaving my mouth while I tried to get back onto my feet. I felt a bit dizzy, and I felt like my virginity had been taken. But the first thing I noticed was that I was no longer within the shrine.
It was taken.
It feels like my butthole got sewed up. Rather, it looked like the forest that was surrounding the dojo. Of course, my first thought was to look around to see if I could
It's not
find
the dojo, it's a dildo.
find the same girl from before. But not a trace of her was present and lingered behind, and then I discovered the dojo dildo was up my butt. To make things even more curious, the old worn down path I had followed amidst the trees was better maintained than I remember. We've gone in the past. Maybe I should head home. That thought was cut short when the sound of several female voices came from nearby. Several? So that means like more than 3.
Gangbang.
Get back here, Hikage! Stop them at once! Just what exactly do you think I'm doing? I'm chasing them. I'm trying to stop them. So 2 after 2. Yaha! I think they spotted what's missing, Oni-sama. Keep running, Chibiko, and we just might escape.
That was so funny.
Just when I thought this day couldn't get any weirder, there came the sound of heavy footfalls from the forest nearby. There's all 4 of them! Listen to the music! What in the world is going on here? And they have tails! They don't. I don't like them too. I like the tails. I wish I had a tail like that. I would love like a fox's tail. That would be, if you could have any animal tail, what would it be?
Wolf.
A wolf. Those look like foxes. Just a little bit away from the path I was walking on, and I saw a pair of girls being chased by another pair of girls. However, there were 2 things I noticed that didn't make sense for me. The first detail, that the girls being chased had the ears and tail of a fox. And the other being that the girls doing the chasing were armed with a katana and a nagitana. I think. Naginata. Conniving kitsune. Come back here at once and return what you stole immediately. What a thief. Give me back my panties! Kage, how can you blurt out something like that? Panties. Oh no, help! Save us from the rampaging women! Oh my god! While the girls had run away, seemingly into the direction that the shrine was located at, I couldn't help but find myself struggling with the decision to just leave them be. While I didn't know what in the world was going on, the fact that the girls were armed with very realistic looking props, for surely they couldn't be real, no. I couldn't call myself a hero if I let such a scene go by without acting. I'm so going to regret this. I'm about to get stabbed. Mumbling in annoyance, I started chasing after the girls. Hikage, go around to the left. Right. Left? Why do you always undermine me? Oh, Kami, I wasn't saying right, I was... You know what, never mind, just run after them. While I was chasing after the girls, I noticed the trees seemingly were getting a bit denser, making it more difficult to navigate along the path. Oni-sama! Oni-sama! I don't think I can run for much more. I'm starting to get a little... Just a little longer, Meiko-chan. We're almost... Meiko! Not a headache. Not now! So sorry, Oni-sama. Scissor attack! I arrived just in time to find the scene straight from an action movie. The fox girl with the blonde hair had collapsed, seemingly being held up in her companion's lap. The two armed girls were approaching them almost unmistakably with killing instincts running amok. Any martial artist could feel that these two girls were going to be in for a beating if I didn't stop them. We've got you now, thieves! I'm going to personally drag your sorry butts back to town to have you both stopped. Maybe I'll even see how you feel running around without any undies on. Yeah, although I must admit, having a breeze down there does feel kind of nice. Keep me feeling fresh and a bit tingly. Kage, goodness, you have no shame, do you? This isn't about your nethers. This is about panties and bras. Stolen! And these two criminals being brought to justice. Oh, Nisama, it hurts. My head hurts. Shh, it's going to be okay, Chibiko. Hey, you guards, if you're so desperate to have your underwear back, then here, catch. Stop right there. Oh, before I was able to interrupt the conversation, the silver-haired fox girl tossed a pair of objects into the air. It seemed whatever they were, the two samurai girls were flustered by the tossed projectile. A projectile whose trajectory was heading straight to my face. Oh, I'm blinded. Who the hell tosses a... Peeling off the projectiles from my face, I rise them lightly into the air like a professor examining an important sample. But at the same time, the fox girls made their escape. A pink bra and lacy black panties. Oh boy, I just knew this wasn't going to end up well. Are you there? Are you in cahoots with these crafty kitsune? Get those back immediately, or those are evidence of a crime, and not for anyone else to touch. Drop the panties right now! I'm innocent until proven guilty. One of the golden rules of court. Now stop pointing those weapons at me so I can hand over your undies without being turned into a kebab. What? No, shut up! Just drop the evidence and walk away. I am Tsukina Mio, Chief of Village Guards, and I am ordering you to drop what you're holding right now. I don't know of any village guards, and I seriously doubt a cop will go around dressed like that wielding a katana. More importantly, the ground here is muddy and dirty. You're sure I would drop the evidence? I mean, I could, but... Yeah! Before I could react, the pink-haired woman lunged towards me, spike of her naginata aiming for my gut. My reflexes caught just in time and I was able to calm away the spear as it sailed through the air. I struck upwards on the wooden shaft of the weapon, sending it up into the air and unbalancing the woman. Narumi, I did not order you to attack! Fine, I'll give them back. Jeez, just my luck to find the girls with weapons to be in the tsundere ones. Deciding to extend the hand that held the girls their undies, I tried to hand them over. Something I would soon end up regretting. I think I fooled something so simple. Fool, you may have fooled me once, but not twice. The woman swung her weapon wide, arcing the thick wooden hole into my side before I could dodge. She then lunged forwards and grabbed me tightly, pulling my arms around behind my back, leaving me with sore ribs and a prone position. I could have fought back, but I figured it would only lead to more fighting, and possibly being stabbed, which I could do without, but I remained passive. The sword-wielding girl stepped forward and grabbed the silky underwear from my hand triumphantly. Your methods might be crude, but they get results, Hikage. Bind his wrists and we'll bring him for questioning. He probably knows where those pesky thieves have been hiding. Right, and people wonder why criminals could resist at all costs. I mumbled weakly while I watched the girl with a naginata tie my wrists together with some rope she had concealed somewhere. I hope it was meant for actual criminals. And soon felt myself dragged by the doorway towards the direction of the city. Surely once we arrive at the city, you two will stop this role-playing of yours and let me go home, right? As much as I like to fool around, I got more important things to do. The city? No, we're not taking you all that way. We'll spend the day in the village cells, thief. Who are you calling a thief? I am a victim. First they tossed undies in my face and I had to deal with physical abuse, not even slander. Besides, there isn't a village around those parts. It's the city, you know, Tsukinotoshi. Silence. Hikage, if he speaks again before we get to the village, you have my permission to knock him unconscious. Tsundere tyrant. That's funny. And that's how I was on my way to a jail cell, cuffed and dragged by two girls that I started to suspect were pretty much crazy in the head. Oh, pretty. When we left the forest behind us, the first thought that filled my mind was panic. The city I had lived in my whole life, it was gone. gotta be kidding me. If I wasn't in Tsukino Toshi, then where the hell did my hometown disappear to? Ain't no talking. Come on, I don't want to bop you that much, kinda. Maybe just a punch or two. I just want to know how the heck you blocked my strike so easily. Your attack had a lot of power behind it, but it was a little bit predictable. Just the right movement, enough pressure behind the counter, and that was the result you saw. But anyway, let me play along for a minute. Where in the world are we? This clearly isn't my hometown. I mean, the buildings look more like they could be in some sort of classic samurai movie. What the heck is a movie? This is Harumaru. It's been here for years. Hikage, I thought I told you to sign on Team if he spoke. Actually, you told me I could do it but you didn't tell me that I had to. Must be tough being her subordinate. Be silent or I will silence you for good. Oh. This time it seemed to be not an idle threat, but the girl unsheathed her katana and rested the tip of the blade against my throat. Already started to regret having played a hero earlier. Hopefully there would be someone with more common sense in the village. Several minutes later, we are dead.